Hey y'all, my name is Angelica Rubio, State Representative for District 35, representing the city of Las Cruces, and this is a legislative update. I'm having some coffee, and I'm outside, and it's the first time I've had a chance to really just kind of like sit and chill in the last week or so. We are getting close to 30 days here in Santa Fe. It's a 2-month session, so we're nearing the halfway point. What that also means is that things are going to start to move either really, really slow or really, really fast. Yesterday we had committee for Consumer and Public Affairs. We started at 8 in the morning, and then we had floor session starting at 2. And on the agenda for the floor session, and let me just explain just in terms of process. So a bill, if you get an idea and you want to make it into law, it has to go through a process. And so in the case of the legislature, I can bring an idea to the House of Representatives, file it, it will get introduced, and then it will get assigned to 1 or 2 committees. Most of the time it's 2 committees, sometimes it could be 3. If it's 3 committees, then you're done. But normally you go through committee. My bills normally go through my own committee, Consumer and Public Affairs, and then it'll go on to House Judiciary because it has a lot. Usually they have a lot of legal questions. Once the bill makes it through CPAC, House Judiciary, or any of the other committees that we have, it will then go to the House floor for a debate, a big debate, with all 70 members getting to vote on the bill. In committee, there's only certain members. Whoever is assigned to those committees, they're the only ones that hear the bills during those times. And then when you get to the floor, then everybody finally gets to hear the bill. Everybody finally gets an opportunity to debate. In the House of Representatives, we have a rule that you, a member of the House of Representatives, can debate a bill for up to, we can debate the bill for up to 3 hours. No more than 3 hours. That's just that's the max that you can try to debate a bill. Because the Democrats are in the majority in the House, Republicans tend to use the 3-hour rule to an advantage to slow things down. And they started that last night, and it's fine. Like, that's just part of the game, I guess. The bill that we were debating last night is the bill that I mentioned to you all several days ago. So the crime bill had a lot, and as I mentioned before, it was going to have a number of bills all rolled up into one. The big bill, which I supported in Consumer and Public Affairs a couple weeks ago, was the criminal competency bill. As I mentioned in my previous video, this is the issue that the governor has been wanting to tackle for over a year now. I was never supportive because there was just a lot of issues with the bill that I didn't feel comfortable with it because it was doing the complete opposite of what we should be doing when it comes to tough on crime versus like actually getting to the root of the problem. So after a year of interim committees where Courts, Corrections, and Justice, a committee that meets on the regular throughout the year, essentially doing homework for the following legislative session, they focused on competency. And it's the very top one here. Please feel free to hit pause and then clear the screen so you can read. But this is as detailed as we were able to get it for folks to be able to get to the crux of the bill. The crazy thing, and this is what I shared in my previous video, is that while I was in support of competency, there were other issues that I did not support that were wrapped into the bill that we voted on last night. That included the fentanyl trafficking sentences, where it would essentially increase penalties for high-level trafficking of fentanyl, and it would add to like we keep talking that there's going to be money for behavioral health and all of that. And so hand in hand with this bill, hopefully that will be the case once the session is over, is that not only do we pass this bill, but we better sure as heck pass the budget that allows for more funding for these types of programs. The third one here, the 4th degree felony for mass shooting threat. This one was a decent bill. I voted for it in committee. This one had to do with increasing the penalty for anyone, especially it's related to school shootings. So if somebody makes a threat, it used to be that it was, I believe it was a misdemeanor. Now this bill moves it so that it becomes a 4th degree felony. So it's in alignment with the state's penalty for bomb threats. Actually, that's not the one that I was talking. That one I had a lot of heartburn supporting. The one that I didn't have any problems with was the possession of a weapon conversion device. That was House Bill 38. This one prohibits possession of a device designed to convert a semi-automatic weapon into a fully automatic weapon. Honestly, that was a scary bill because I didn't realize how many young people did that, and so that was a bit of an eye-opener. The penalties for vehicle thefts, that one, they've been trying to pass that bill for years now. That also enhances penalties for repeat offenders around stolen vehicles. I guess there's been a lot of really crazy scenarios and situations in places around how vehicle thefts have been used, and so that was what that was about. The last one, I hope you all can see it. This one sucked. This is the DWI blood testing, House Bill 106. This basically gives law enforcement officers the ability to enforce DUI laws, but it gives it allows officers to test for controlled substances in cases where they have probable cause to suspect a misdemeanor has been committed. If you've been following me for years, over the course of the last 8 years that I've been serving in the legislature, I have had a lot of concerns and issues with the amount of power we're giving law enforcement in this state. Part of it is blowback that has been happening with groups who it's a long history, but I know way too many stories of how law enforcement has used their power to essentially go against a lot of folks in our communities. We've seen so many killings at the hands of law enforcement, not only across the country, but in Las Cruces. We've had several people killed by law enforcement that I've always just had concerns with how much power we give them. So this is just an additional, they call it an additional tool for law enforcement. But to me, it's just another tool to pull someone over, harass them, and essentially take away people's due process. This is a very, this part was very hard to swallow. What I did in the end was I voted no on the entire thing. It was a decision that I contemplated. I talked to the sponsor of the bill. They knew that I was going to wait till the last second, and it was the very last second. So we were only given 30 seconds to vote on a bill, and with 3 seconds left on the board is when I hit the no vote. If you all have specific questions about the bill, please feel free to share. I'm happy to talk more in depth of it. With that said, this was one of the hardest bills that we've heard so far, and it's likely just going to get harder and harder over the course of the next 30 days, 30 plus days. So wish us luck. Hopefully we're doing the right thing, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Happy Sunday. Enjoy it. Go outside. Do it.